And when I was asleep, I had one of my favorite dreams. Sometimes I have it during the day, but then it's a daydream, but often have it at night as well. And in the dream, nearly everyone on Earth is dead because they have caught a virus. But it's not like a normal virus, it's like a computer virus. And people catch it because of the meaning of something an infected person says and the meaning of what they do with their faces when they say it. Which means that people can also get it from watching an infected person on television, which means that it spreads around the world really quickly. And when people get the virus, they just sit on the sofa and do nothing. They don't eat or drink, and so they die. But sometimes I have different versions of the dream, like when you can see two versions of a film, the ordinary one and the director's cut, like Blade Runner. And in some versions of the dream, the virus makes them crash their cars and walk into the sea and drown, or jump into rivers. And I think this version is better because then there aren't bodies of dead people everywhere. And eventually, there is no one left in the world except people who don't look at other people's faces and who don't know what these pictures mean. And these people are all special like me, and they like being on their own, and I hardly ever see them because they're like octopi in the jungle in the Congo, which are a kind of antelope and are very shy and rare. And I can go anywhere in the world, and I know that no one is going to talk to me or touch me or ask me a question. But if I don't want to go anywhere, I don't have to, and I can stay home and eat broccoli and oranges and licorice laces all the time. Or I can play computer games for a whole week. Or I can just sit in the corner of a room and rub a €1 coin back and forward over the ripple shapes of the surface of the radiator. And I won't have to go to France. And I go out to Father's house and I walk down the street, and it is very quiet, even though it is in the middle of the day, and I cannot hear any noises except birds singing and wind and sometimes buildings falling down in the distance. And if I stand close to a traffic light, I can hear a little click as the colors change. And I go in other people's houses and play at being a detective, and I can break the windows to get in because people are dead and it doesn't matter. And I go into shops and take things I want, like pink biscuits or PJ's raspberry and mango smoothie or computer games or books and videos. I can take a ladder from Father's van and climb up onto the roof. And when I get to the edge of the roof, I can put the ladder across the gap and climb on the next roof because it is a dream and you're allowed to do anything. And when I find someone's car keys and get into their car and I drive, and it doesn't matter if I bump into things, I can drive and I can park and I can get out and there is rain pouring down and I take an ice cream from the shop and eat it. And then I walk down to the beach. And the beach is covered in sand and big rocks, and there's a lighthouse on the point, but the light is not on because the lighthouse keeper is dead. And I stand in the surf, and it comes up to my shoes, and I don't go swimming in case there are sharks. And I stand and look at the horizon, and I take out my long metal ruler, and I hold it up against the line between the sea and the sky, and I demonstrate that the line is a curve and the earth is round, and the way the surf comes up over my shoes and then goes down again is in a rhythm, like music or drumming. And then I go get some dry clothes from the house of a family who are dead, and I go to Father's house, except it's not Father's house anymore, it's mine. And I make myself some goji aloe sag with red food coloring in it, and some strawberry milkshake for a drink. And then I watch videos of the solar system and play computer games, and I go to bed. And then the dream is finished, and I am happy.